Kelly Thomas, the project manager of the dog park in Gassy.
Okay, all right. So I'm here tonight with Kyle Dick, the landscape architect that we hired for the dog park on the Gassy. We first did the temporary park just to see if it would work out in that space, and so we found that it was successful. And so now we've gotten a further grant from the Stanton Foundation for design and construction of the park. And we wanted to share the designs that we're working on for the permanent park. And Kyle, like I said, is the landscape architect who is doing the plans, and he can tell you more about there's a handout there that
there's only about 30 handouts, so if you can look at it and share it, we didn't know it was going to be such a bigger crowd than that. But as Kelly mentioned, the dog park at the Gassy is at the corner of the park, and it's a terrace location. So there's the lowest location is for smaller dogs, and then the upper level is for the larger dogs. It's fenced in. Sorry, large dogs on the lower level, small dogs on the bigger area, on the upper area. It's fenced in with existing fencing that contains the dogs. It's open during the day. It's restricted at night because that's on purpose. We don't want people there at night doing who knows what. So that has been successful so far as that's been operating. But in terms of what the project is, it's tailoring that space specifically for dog use. So right now it's just brick and concrete as the park was before. But we're going to add an artificial turf that is appropriate for dog use, that can be cleaned and would be hygienic, but is also better for paws, and will also be looked at and will have a better appearance. We'll have an automatic irrigation system that will water that every night so that it is cleaned off. There'll be places for people to sit, and there'll be different activities for the dogs in terms of agility or just for variety, ramps, tunnels, that kind of thing, so that it's no different than a playground for kids, it's a playground for dogs. We acknowledge that not everyone in the room is a dog owner or a user, but everyone is welcome at the dog park. If you just want to go from point A to point B to walk up the stairs, or if you just want to watch the dogs, that's fine, as long as it's within the hours that the park is open. And in terms of construction, we're hoping, one, to get your input now, so then we can keep going with the drawings that actually make this something that we can go out to bid with. And we're not sure yet if it will be constructed this fall or if the construction timing will have to shift to the spring, but that's something we're going to try to do this year if we can.
This is really a voting item.
no.
So I'll open up to the council if you have any comments or questions. What's the overall cost of this?
The estimated cost for the construction is $200,000. I think the design is around $20,000. The design is 100% paid for by the Stanton Foundation. The construction is 90% paid for by the Stanton Foundation, and 10% paid for by the City of Austin.
What's the non-timetable for completion?
As Kyle said, we're not sure if we're based on the design process now and also how long it takes the city to put out these contracts and stuff. We're not sure if we want to do it in the fall. If it gets too late, there's nothing that's really weather sensitive, but do we want to open a new park at the end of November right before it snows? And so that's more of our we're not sure if we're going to do it in the fall or in the spring.
I would say, obviously, a few other parks, some of them are in certain west, the Stone. So if you wanted to have them discuss the community feedback as to what those would like to see.
I'll tell, we have a woman who's like a outreach coordinator. I'm really specific on projects, so I can't answer that.
You can pass it along.
Sure, Steelman?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously, there's a opioid epidemic across the state, so I don't think it's good to have needles lying around.
No, of course
parks.
not, no.
Renovate them or do whatever we can.
Okay, so, but the name of the park is still?
Antelope.
It's Antelope.
Antelope, okay, yeah,
And there's
okay.
already money in the advance budget.
Okay, all right, yeah, I'll mention that.
Would it be good to have, yeah?
Sure, I can pass that.
So I'm still on the street.
Okay, I can pass that on.
Mark, what's your
Thank you.
Before I open it up to the audience, we have representatives from Ruff today, if you wanted to say anything. If you want to, I mean, first of all, thank you for all the work that you've done over the past couple years. It's fantastic. But,
Yeah. Any comments, suggestions, ideas you have, you can always submit them to Ruff at info@ruffboston.org. Leslie and I have already met with some abutters and neighbors and community members. They've offered a lot of good suggestions, so feel free, like Kelly said, to any input you have as well.
And any other audience members that?
Wonderful design, by the way, wonderful design, and it's a blessing to see, especially the second level, which tucks on the Hull Street, because I lived up there. Whenever they put those planters in years ago, it's nothing but a place for rodents to pass. And this is a machine that's wanted. I remember from the beginning when I suggested you take on it, but I always thought, but I think it's a wonderful, and I want to applaud you for staying with what you did very much. It's a wonderful design.
Well, thank you. Well, Ruff was driving force,
That's what
really.
I see her over there.
Yeah.
It was a great job.
Anyone else before we move on? Yep. Feel free to just state your name and where you live and
My name's Joe Mantone, I live on Market Street. I'm just curious, if this is enacted and this would pass and you have this park put together, how would you maintain the park as far as, would it be subsidized by the city to take care of it, or would this be privately funded?
The maintenance, in the beginning, there's an allotment for some maintenance. There would be, currently, things like the trash pickup and stuff like that, the city does that. We're kind of entering into new territory because this is the first site in the city, at least owned by the city, that has this special doggy turf. And I'm not, quite honestly, I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. Things like just daily, orderly things, I think that'll be up to Ruff. And then for big ticket items, I would imagine that would be, you know, along a 10 or 20 year replacement. That would, I don't know, that would be looked at by the, I can't commit money, but I would assume that the city would have some hand in that, because the city is, the current administration is more favorable towards dog parks than the previous administration, so we're seeing a shift. Before there was an ordinance that is kind of sunsetted and it's no longer in force, or it's no longer valid, but that put the onus of all, any money, any construction, any design, any maintenance for dog parks, that put the onus on a community group. And the current administration and the current parks commissioner didn't like that model, didn't think it was fair. And so we're moving towards the parks, you know, building and maintaining dog parks. But quite honestly, it's kind of a new frontier. But the city is definitely going to be committed, you know, in some degree.
I think I saw another hand from somebody in the audience. Sir, did you have any questions? Yep. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Monty, and I live at 95 North Margin Street, and our door is the only doorway from 89 North Margin Street to Lafayette Ave, which is en route to the playground. Well, I wish I had a penny for every dog who doesn't poop there, and the owners get very insulted when we tell them pick it up. This is a private street, we can do what we want. So I would love for somebody from Brook or whatever to come and sit in our house some night and watch. They don't care. And I've been pushing, Stephen Mescantilli can tell you, for DNA on dog poop. Then we have to pay no taxes, trust me. It came to my magic poop. So the people, and I had a dog, they don't care, the majority. They make them poop in the playground. My grandchildren come home the other day, we knocked the door with all the poop on the sneakers. They don't care. I asked them, gee, can you read? I can read, well, evidently you can't. Because the sign says, whatever,
So perhaps
but they don't care.
more disposal units around.
Doesn't make a difference, they throw it down our catch
Yeah,
basin,
I know.
which is disgusting.
I have the same problem. We all have the
I
same.
think it's a problem citywide. My understanding is that there's been less poop in the street since.
They don't walk around.
But so you're saying since the dog park went in, I know there's always been poop. It is not. But I don't.
No way to throw it. People pick it up, take it back, and throw it in
I have dogs and I pick it up and put it in a barrel and carry it. But, you know, I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
We all recognize that is definitely a problem. So
I think it's a problem citywide though.
I mean, I think we should maybe put that on the agenda to have someone talk about this in further detail. But as for the park, I mean, I know Ralph, they have signs all over the neighborhood telling the dogs to not be in the baseball parks. I still think kick a dog around the week, you know, so they're doing their part. We need to see what we can do more. But unless anybody has specific questions about the renovation and the project, I'm going to move on to the next agenda item.